Uh, Very good afternoon to one and all present here today. My name is Saloni Kaul, the president of Faridabad Management Association. And today, our webinar topic is on digitizing operations, the road to profits and efficiency. And to take us through this journey today, we have an expert within us, amongst us. His name is Mr. Sanjay Dewan. And to introduce Mr. Sanjay to the audience here today, let me take a moment to read out. So Mr. Sanjay Dewan is a partner at QHSE Risk Consultants. He's an expert in OHS, in TQM, in IT security, environment and risk management systems. He holds a deep domain expertise across a large bandwidth of industries, for example, oil and gas, thermal power, renewable energy, steel and captive power, IT and software, automotive, distilleries, marine and offshore, etc. He's also a specialist in ISO management systems, right from ISO 9001 to 14,001 to 20,000, 27,001, then 27,000 series, 31,000 series, and 45,000 series, and 50,000 series. So that's a big range there in ISO management systems. He's an expert in various international Indian legal acts, rules, and regulations uh, with respect to OHS, environment, fire safety, and IT security. He's conducted over 2,500 risk-based audits and safety inspections worldwide. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many other impressive facts to his illustrious career. And I now welcome Sanjay Diwanji to take over and share with us how we can digitize operations and how can actually we create this roadmap towards growth and over to you, Sanjay.
Sir, I think you are mute.
Yeah, Sanjay, please unmute.
Thank you very much, Saloni. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your introduction. Thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar. And I can see that there are select but very nice participants. And thank you also for the introduction as well, which of course, that's really your kind words. I'm flattered. And thank you for the invitation, as I said. You see, when your invitation came, the only topic which I could think of was basically talk about something which is futuristic. So that's the reason we selected digitization. And digitization is something which is not only present, it is also the future for all of us. So thanks a lot for selecting this topic. Good afternoon to all participants. Welcome to all of you. My introduction has already been given, and as you know that Saloni ji said that I'm an expert in OHS, etc., etc. But you see, apart from this, digitization, making things paperless is something which is the most critical thing in today's time, in today's business. So what happens is, as I will just give you a brief background. It so happened is that we are into consulting business, and as Saloni ji introduced that we have so many business lines where we carry out these consulting work, consulting business, etc. in India and outside. So you see, we also realized that most of the work with our clients was being done on paper. So which means, and that's a Herculean task. You are writing, you are creating reports, you are printing, you are presenting, you are making photocopies, and then you are sending, making email attachments. And obviously, we realized that this is not the way the world should work. Plus also, I have worked before starting this company in Germany. where I was a director with the German group, and I was looking after the entire plant, subsea engineering. I was director of HSE quality, safety, vetting, and training. So there, of course, it's a developed economy. And we realized that the focus, even at that time, was purely to go paperless and have 100% digitization of your operations and system so that everybody works in the same loop. Now, coming back to India and looking at how the corporates, the large companies, the large plants, the factories are operating, that was something, which we realized that we are still into that area where people are still writing, filling of forms, and that's taking hours. So idea was to create a solution. And then, of course, probably all of you know, with our present government, the focus is always on digitization. Our Prime Minister has always focused on digitization. And we have seen that now the digitization has taken over our economy as such. Everything what we do is complete digitization of our operations or what we were doing. So this is why digitization is actually the requirement of the present. So I have made a short presentation, which I will show to you. And of course, most of it I would just discuss with you, try to be interactive with you. And my request is that in case if you have any questions or whatever, you could also raise your hand, stop me. There should not be a problem, etc. Plus also in the end, towards the end of this program, we will also have an open house and we will have a Q&A session as such. So let me share my screen with you. And please let me know, one of you, if you can see the screen.
Yes, it is coming up. You can put it into screen mode. Yeah.
I think all of you can see.
Yes.
I've got the confirmation. All right.
Yes, it is visible.
So you see, the title is Digitization of Operations. Normal standard message, mobile phone, silent. The program, what we have planned is for 45 minutes, and afterwards we will have a Q&A session. But we are having a limited audiences of participants, and I believe this could also be because of Saturday, also because of a holiday, also because of being a national holiday, obviously. So, that could be one of the reasons, but I'm very happy to talk to a select audience. That's, of course, my introduction. Saloni ji is already given. I'm partner in QHS series consultants, paperless, and gate pass. So, of course, every program, every training session should have some objectives. And the objectives here are very clear. What is digitization? The benefits. How do you plan digitization of your facility, of your office, of your works, of your plant, factory? And of course, then what kind of digitization solutions you should select, or the tools which are available in the market. So let's see, what is digitization? We use this day in, day out, but I'm going to use the dictionary meaning of digitization. And the dictionary meaning of digitization is adaptation of a system which you use through computers and internet. It's very simple. So you see, any activity which is being used by computers and internet, to define it simply, is digitization. And what is paperless? It's basically your environment, your work environment, your home environment. Home environment also is digitized now these days. So any environment with a complete digital documentation, record keeping, and filing system is called paperless. So it's one or the same. digitization or paperless. Only thing is that paperless is one step ahead of digitization. You use digitization for all your activities, and you ensure that while the process of digitization is being implemented or followed, you don't use any paper. So your environment is completely free of paper, and all you use is your computers and you use your internet. So what we call in today's terminology is Internet of Things, which basically controls everything. So digitization is the key. And what are the benefits? You see, your routine tasks are automated. You reduce errors because everything is digitized, everything is planned, everything is programmed. So if you are an owner or working in a factory, or if you are an employee, or you are part of any association, obviously everywhere where we are working, there are errors, there are rejections, and there are reworks. These three things are common in all environments. And how do we reduce it? The solution is digitization and programming and ensuring that your system is paperless. So you could reduce it. How? We will see. You can manage all your resources. And one of the good part is quick information sharing. Imagine you need to read a report. So either you ask someone to send you an email, he or she sends you an email, you get an email, sometimes you don't get an email, you are traveling somewhere, you don't have access, whatever, then finally you get your email, you download the attachment. Now, after downloading the attachment, you're saying, oh, I cannot read it properly, there's some error. Or if you are in office, okay, you take a printout, then finally the attachment, the printout comes in front of you, and then you are reading it. Just imagine if the same information is available to you quickly, you could read it, you could approve it, and you can sign it, and the whole team or the management could do the entire sign off after reading it simultaneously. How's that? Those are the fruits of digitization and making things paperless and simple. So your manual work is gone. So whatever you are using, whatever you are writing, or otherwise, whatever manual work you are doing, including in your factories, assembly line, everything could be automated, which is automated and programmed. And of course, you bring more of digitization. Information sharing is pretty quick, absolutely fast, lightning fast. Responsibility and accountability. What happens is, in actually today's time, responsibility is there, accountability, we don't know. So accountability is extremely important. It goes hand in hand with responsibility. So how do you get? In your digitization, it's very clear that someone needs to take responsibility, and he is accountable also for closure of this issue or for any matter whatsoever. So obviously, the whole team is looking at it. They know who is responsible. They know who is the process owner. They know who is accountable. There is transparency. And in case if there is any deviation, everybody can see, anybody can respond. So basically what is happening is the work which you were doing in a couple of hours is now taking a couple of minutes. Resource optimization, reduce paper, and of course, you throw away all your printers, your printer cartridges, your all accessories, your consumables, everything you can live without now because you don't need them. Why do you require them? And now what happens is when you have all these tools and equipment in your office, you require an AMC. That's also a cost because someone is coming, they're cleaning, they're buying cartridges, they're fitting it, refilling, all that kind of stuff. So all those headaches, and there is a guy who's looking after this, admin guy, who's looking after all this kind of stuff. You don't need him anymore. Why? Because your system is paperless. So the paperless system is your administrator, and you are the one who is controlling as a super administrator. That's how it works. So, and now you have a lot of free space available. What happens to that free space? Utilize it for people, for other activities, whatever. You don't need to store those files and folders and almirahs and cupboards and everything. Everything is not required. You save a lot of time. And last but not the least, archives. In case if you are using a digitized system or a paperless system, then obviously all your records needs to be stored, which we call archives. So all your regulatory requirements, all your legal requirements are all stored in your archives management. Say IT rules require at least minimum 7 years of storage of all your documents. That's a legal and regulatory requirements. Where do you do 7 years? You need to store. Imagine 7 saal se you are keeping it there, and then later on you need to retrieve, you get a notice. Please show us records of 2017. Wow, 2017. So someone is looking and going into your storage, trying to retrieve, or you have an option, open your system, archives, 2017, in maximum 4 clicks, there you are. So that is what we look at the benefits. For an organization, if you are a business owner, I don't know how many business owners are here, but the impression is agile. It's good for your corporate reputation that you are using these new systems and you are in sync with the technology. Obviously, it gives a very good impression. And dealing with your clients, and we have several clients with whom our clients who further their clients are quite impressed when they see their digitized systems and they have access and they could sort it out things very quickly, which otherwise would take a whole lot of time. Employee motivation is also one area, because when you work for any organization, people take pride. Oh, we work in a system which is completely digitized. Or some employees say, "Aaj to paper ghiste mood off ho gaya, pasine nikal gaye." Obviously, there is a whole lot of difference. So employee motivation is also quite important for those companies who look for, who care for their employees. Employees definitely take pride, come home, talk to their family and say that, look, we have a complete digitized system which I'm using. And of course, the word spreads. One point I've added is ISO certification. And in today's time, if you are into a market where you require quality, you require compliance to various requirements, you need to go for ISO certification. Now that ISO certification requires a whole lot of paperwork, whole lot of documentation system. Believe me, it's there since 1984, and I've been involved since then. It requires, if not, I'm not trying to exaggerate, but yes, tons and tons of paper, and half of it is wasted because wrong copies, wrong printing, wrong date, etc. So imagine an owner or a business owner who doesn't know about it because he's not part of the day-to-day operation. He doesn't know how much paper is being wasted. And suddenly he says, "Arey, 2 din mein 4 cartridge kaise lag gaye? Itna kya ho gaya?" Obviously, it is because you are printing so much, you are copying so much. We have done our own calculation, and if you see this 86%, this is a realistic figure. Over a period of 3 years, if you look at your cost, you can easily achieve a savings of 80 to 90%. And we have figures and tables available with us, and this could be proved. So we have all the data. So this is one part, benefits. Now, the next question is that how do you plan it? So you see, generally we have seen is that people say, okay, let's go for digitization. Let's make our environment paperless. Let's make it smart, all that kind of stuff. But most important thing is form a core team first, so that you have a core team in your office, in your plant, in your factory. Form a core team first. And these people should be the decision-making team. So obviously you should have senior people who are part of this core committee or core team. Involve your top management or the business owner as the chairman. This is just a suggestion. Set up a deadline. Till what time, till what date, till what month you would like to achieve your objective of going for digitization and paperless. After that comes one of the most important activities. Team would be formed, no issue. Deadline can be formed, no issue. Deadlines also have to be realistic. On what basis? List all the activities. You need to list all the activities which you want to digitize. It may be that you don't want to digitize all your activities at one go. You would like to go one by one. Maybe someone would like to take a baby step. So you could do that. So go step by step. Most important thing, start your digitization from your entry. Because that is your gate. So when you start your entry, digitization from your gate, that is how the flow will start. So what happens in actually today's time, several plants, factories, offices, they are still having a register. Well, digitize that register. That would be the first baby step which you will take. And solution is digitization of your register can also ensure link to your attendance. It can also link to your salary calculations. So there are a whole lot of things which you can plan. So that's the reason I said, list the activities you would like to digitize. So like I gave you an example, my gate, my entry. So where you have people coming, employees coming, materials coming, dispatches going out of the plant, factories. So obviously you could link everything together. So what happens? People come, people go, and then you could also get your attendance. Attendance could lead to your salary calculations. What is happening today? People are using a hardware. So that hardware is basically biometrics. So you need to go for biometrics, you need to check, and then you get your attendance. Now, every hardware, all of us understand this, has a certain amount of life, a certain capacity, a certain life, a certain capacity, and a certain storage or system as such. And then, of course, it's prone to errors. You don't require them. You don't require a hardware. Go for complete digitization, only software. And now, while you are planning, in your plan, you can also list all your pain points, all impediments which you have faced. So now this core team will also get feedback from their team, middle management, the support management, gatekeepers, workers, supervisors, talk to them, listen to them, what kind of impediments are they facing. The term what we use is pain points. A supervisor will tell you his pain points compared to his manager. Manager is looking for the result. The supervisor is facing the problem. So look for pain points, look for impediments, list them down, list all your desired achievements or improvements which you want, and then also assess your own IT infrastructure. Capacity assessment, you need to decide whether you will use your own infra or you will use the infra from another party or the supplier who is giving you all the solutions. Also list down your cyber security requirements if you have any. Data is precious. And then, of course, most important thing, plan your budget. Have your budget in mind. It's very important. Generally, what we see, and I'm telling you and sharing you with my experience, you ask anyone, big companies, very large organizations, you ask them, okay, fine, what's your budget? Oh, no budget, no problem. This is, if you ask me, this answer is not relevant. It doesn't lead anywhere, because soon after he will come, oh, we don't have budget for this. Then why did you say in the first place, no budget, no problem? Fix your budget. Keep in mind your budget, because everybody works as per the budgetary requirements, and basis that you could find out what all you could get, what all you could not or you cannot get. I have also mentioned your warnings. You see, in today's time, data is gold mine. All of us, we use apps like anything. Anything, oh, I see एक नया app आया है, वहां पे discount मिल रहा है, app को load करने. And that app is asking some information whatsoever. And after some time you say, oh, this app is no good. That app was no good right from start. All they wanted is your personal information to sell. So what is happening is, and you have fallen into their trap. So there are companies who are making these sasta apps, जो 2-4-5 हजार में एक ऐप बन जाएगा, गुड लुकिंग, उसको उन्होंने मार्केट प्लेस में डाल दिया और थोड़ा सा एक वायरल कर दिया व्हाट्सएप पे. एवरीबडी इज डूइंग इट, उनको डेटा मिल गया, इंफॉर्मेशन. सो डोंट गो फॉर द एप्स, and only go for, and don't go for free apps as well. And now, of course, most important thing is choose your software which is simple to use, requires minimal training. It has got a testing or a software platform, and it is also, it has a good complaint management system. When I talk about complaint management system, which means is the complaint management system is such, it should not be a ticketing system. Along with the ticketing system, you should also have a phone call system. If you don't have a phone call system or a call center or a calling number, that's an area of alarm or alert. That is extremely important, that you must not go for any kind of application where you cannot talk to people and there are faceless people behind. So that is how it is. I think I have completed my session with you. As I said, that we will try to make it brief, to the point. I said that it will be approximately 45 minutes. So we are almost about 40 minutes. And if you have any questions, any doubts, any clarifications, please ask. I'll be happy to take them.
Thank you, Mr. Dewan, for that really informative session.
I think, Saloni ji, you are on mute. Is it so?
No, I'm not on mute.
Or I can't hear you. Are you saying something?
Yeah.
I am able to listen.
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear slowly.
So, any questions?
Yes, Saloni ma'am, I have questions. Sir, thanks a ton for the wonderful presentation. In fact, like I'm taking care of my own industry. And my question here is, like, we are into manufacturing area and into brake parts, precision turn components. So my question is, like, if, as you're aware, like nowadays industries are having so many like audits these days, right? Okay. Yeah. The companies are having their like so many audits these days. They have like ample of documents to be like assessed by the operators. The skill evaluation test and you like further signatures and like controlling operators, because in that case you like operators. Except again the biggest task, like we keep on having like a lot of operators day by day changing, like 10 days, 3 months, 6 months. So like it's a huge pile of documents if we talk about. Like it's coming into digitization. So if I like hire the people in HR and like training them again on those things. So what is the methodology like once we like train our people on this digitization? And what will be the first phase?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
But I can't hear you guys at all.
We can hear you.
I don't know.
We can hear you clearly, Sanjay, and we can hear everyone else here too.
I think Monica ji was trying to say something.
Yes.
And I could see her. She was speaking, but I can't hear.
I'm audible now.
What is
Sanjay,
wrong?
relog in,
Is
Sanjay.
something
Yeah,
wrong with my
by-
system or earbuds?
Yeah.
No.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, now I can hear. I don't know. Something went wrong. I removed my buds and now it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So, Monica, I
Yeah.
think request you to repeat your question.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks again, Sanjay, for the wonderful session today. Like for me, it's really grateful to learn all this because we are actually involved in a lot of paper. My industry, I'm taking care of my own industry itself, and we are actually involved in a lot of. I'm audible?
Again, we've gone mute.
You're on mute.
Sanjay, can you hear her now?
I lost you again.
Sanjay, you can you rejoin?
Just a few words and then I lost you completely.
Okay.
Sanjay, relog in. Relog in.
I don't know what to do because
Please re-log in.
Saroni, he is not able to hear. So probably you have to send in a chat message.
I heard something now.
Okay. We are audible now?
Yes, now I
Thankfully. That's okay. See, I'm taking care of my own industry and supporting my husband, and we are into manufacturing of brake parts, precision turn components for the steam clients, Maruti, Toyota, Nissan, all big brands you talk about. And as you can see, like I think you've already witnessed to many industries because like our kind of an industry have a lot of audits. Like clients like from Japan keep on traveling us, and you like from Maruti, Toyota, and you can understand like lot of audit papers. Again lost. Hello, Saloni ji. Hello, Saloni ma'am. Okay.
You are audible, Monica. Can you please write your question in the? I'm just going to call Sanjay. In the
My question is too long. I can't type. So
I know, and I really don't know. Actually, this has happened again with me for the first time. I really don't know. Zoom we are using after years.
No, what is the possibility if I can talk to him personally over the phone later? We have a lot of queries with him.
I can hear you. Saloni, I can hear her now.
Okay.
Sanjay, can I request you to do one thing? Can you please log out?
Hello?
Okay.
Please log in.
Okay. All right. Will do.
Yeah.
Saloni is suggesting that, I log out and then log in.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. But let's do a last try. Monica ji, aap phir se bataiye last time, because now I can hear you here. If it's
okay,
possible.
I'm audible now? I'm
yes,
audible?
you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Sir, I'm running my own industry and it's supporting my husband. We are into manufacturing of brake parts, precision turn components for all big brands, Maruti, Toyota, Nissan, all big brands you talk about. And
Right.
as you understand, because these companies has a lot of audits with us. It involves huge it's a kind of a pile of paperwork for each and every operator, each and every staff, training need, identification, the skill evaluation, man machine matrix, production sheets, and n number of things. So we every day we witness around thousands of the documents every day, out of so much of stuff. So my question is, if we if you venture into such kind of a digitization, maybe with your support or whatever, in that case, what is a training methodology? Because here the people keep on changing, because into manufacturing industry people are never stable. When they talk about this, basically in operators level, so people are never stable. So how we are going to train rigorously, or how we can keep pace with such digitization? And number one, on the training front. Number two, on the methodology, which keeps on changing day by, which is actually changing, even if after we work on this digitization system. So how to keep
Right. Very relevant question, and this is a headache of all business owners.
Yes.
You see, we have worked also with automotive suppliers, etc. All right, those who work with OEMs. So like you mentioned, Maruti, etc. You see, what happens is, that's the reason, if you go back to my presentation, I said when you are selecting any solution, that solution should be simple to use. And my belief is, the belief is that in case if you have to carry out training for a software, then there is a problem. The software should be such. Software should be such. It is like what you do when you buy a phone. Even a worker or a laborer goes to a shop, buys a phone, unwraps the box, opens it, puts the SIM, 5 minutes, start using. Why can't we have a software or the digitization solution as simple as that? So all the worker does it because, as you mentioned, is that you have these kind of challenges which are normal, where people go, people come back. So you create, or you have that kind of a system implemented which does not depend on people. So what happens, whether A comes or B comes, all he has in front of him is his tab or a smartphone, which is basically the result of digitization. And all they do is go to the entries and make the entries and put the name.
So you mean to say, like, if I take an example of one operator, right? So what is the procedure when the person enters into our like premises itself? So he has one single operator has to go in for a lot of procedures, right? Number one, he has induction training, then like shop floor training, and then followed by skill evaluation test. It's a complete set of question papers, 4 question papers that he has to undergo. Then again, you're like upgrading his skill matrix, man machine. So I'm just talking about, so I have around 100, 200 plus operators with us. So in that case, what happens is, when the auditor comes in, they demand for you like signed documents, duly the evident documents from all the auditors. So how do that? Once the digitization, so what is the procedure like? How the see whatever
Right.
we are getting done is on the paper. You have to get
I know.
every. So how
Right.
to get it?
You see, right. You see, what happens is we ourselves, as I said in the starting of my presentation, was we realized the same problem which you are facing. So we created these digitized solutions for our clients. We call them paperless management system, and we have something called gate pass management system. These are completely on the cloud, and we have created these modules keeping in mind the problems business owners face. Also keeping in mind, I'm sure you would have IATF 16949 as well, because that's the automotive criteria
Yes.
requirement.
Yes.
Along with this 9001 is a requirement. Otherwise, OM will know
That's coming up. Yes.
to you. So now you see 16949, we realize, so we've created those solutions on our cloud platform, which will solve all these problems. So whether like one of our clients does 2000 inspections in one day without any problem, till he was not using, and they are, you see how you could use it. This client is one of the boutique tour operator. Now he is that kind of tour operator who is getting clients from overseas who chartered their jets and comes in choppers. They are not in a team or who fly down. No, they are those guys who have their own jets or charter their jets, come down here straightway to Jodhpur, Udaipur, whatever, have their holiday, take the jet back. So he's dealing into that criteria. Now, during COVID time, he had this impediment of how to get these Oberoi groups, the big ones, inspected and send the report in Europe or in US. So we created a solution for him, whereas they could create their customized inspection reports, send it to all the owners, the general managers of the hotel, whether it's Taj, whether it's Oberoi, and those guys would do the inspection, take the pictures from the smartphone, submit it only via email without even going to the application. And he could see very clearly, oh, मेरा अभी ये 50% में हुआ है. And then there is a sign off. So those guys are signing off on the screen on their phone itself. They are signing off, putting in the date, and there we go. And then it goes to the client who is paying, those high dollars as such. And he's looking at the report, he's looking at the pictures. It's fine, it's okay, I'll come, because he's paying top dollar.
So
yeah,
sorry.
please.
So,
Can I ask Saloni one more question if I'm open to it?
so Monica, I will connect you to Sanjay ji so that you can have a
Sure. Right. Okay. Sir, I will definitely connect you over the phone. I have a lot of queries, and thank you, Saloni, for the wonderful session. Just a small question and before just a very small question. Sir, are the manipulations possible on this digitization? Because you understand a lot of audition manipulations are done during audit. That's just a small question.
Right. If you ask me an honest answer, no.
That's what. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to listen. Right. Thank you, sir.
No.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Most welcome.
Thanks, sir. I'll definitely take a number and definitely connect to you. Right. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saloni. Thank you, Tyagarajan, sir.
So I
Right.
have
Thank
one,
you.
there is one comment by Mr. Deepak Bharara. And I'm going to read it out and
Yeah, Deepakji.
so Deepak has written that we are into infra business where most of the operators are of baby boomers or generation X. And
Right.
coming from that generation, they are not comfortable in data entry. So the data entry
Right.
part, they're not comfortable. So so we have to appoint computer data entry operators, which is of course then becomes a additional cost. And we can't remove them as they are the core of our business. So it can't be effectively used as they are not tech savvy. In fact, these guys are using their phones for receiving or making phone calls only. So how can this be
Right.
addressed?
You see, this is also one of the impediments for business owners is that because you see, you have to have someone who is doing the data entry, if I got it correct from you, Saloniji. So now what happens is that what are we doing now currently, if you look at it, as I said also while I was discussing, everyone in India, and we are now the country with the largest population, and all of us are using this, and this is the tool. So rather than going for data entry, there are solutions available, which is, why do you require data entry? Use your phone, click, everybody makes a video, everybody takes a picture, and that picture is your data entry. You don't have to enter anything. The moment you add the picture, all details will come up, your data entry is done. There is no problem. These are very simple solutions, like very briefly, as I was talking to you regarding the gate pass, that you should start with your entry gate. Now we were discussing with someone, and this gentleman came, is that how can I use this for my salary calculation? So we said it's very simple. Another gentleman wanted a solution that for the GST authorities, we have to give them evidence when that lorry came in, dispatch went out, uske saath invoice. So we have to attach everything, put it in a file, lorry ke papers, driver ka driving license in one folder. So you don't have to do anything, completely digitization. The lorry comes, picture, driver picture, his picture, linked to your tax invoice, all at one dashboard. Let the GST guys come after 10 years also. You still have that lorry number, DQ, DQLBC to your tax invoice number. So this is not a challenge at all. Not a challenge.
Okay, great. I think some unique innovative solutions are available if one really wants to look at how to digitize one's operations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sanjay, this is easier said than done because most of them are crane operators, riggers, drivers, and even the people, those who are on the casting plant production. So they have to make a lot of log entries in terms of diesel consumption, road consumption. They are working on a stretch of 94 kilometers on the road, where the internet is also a major problem. And you know the kind of condition we are in, especially in the NHAI, where the tracks are 94 kilometers, 84 kilometers. There's no even connections available. So in such cases, we have no choice except to put the data entry operator to put in the logs in the system so that we can keep the complete control on the inventory and the budget cost. So what you're saying is easier said than done, but on the ground realities are very different,
No, actually, I would only add, it's not easier said than done, because as I told you, is that apart from consulting, we have these IT applications or solutions which are being used. So that's the reason I gave my answer with that much of confidence, because we have given these kind of solutions to our clients. I'm very well aware that when you have your crane operators and riggers, the only challenge is that you do not get internet connectivity. But if you have your logbook, you see, Very quick example I gave you is that for the offshore industry, we created oil record books. Now, for years, the offshore industry was using these oil record books, or in the factory when we have these log books. It's all the same. You need to log all the entries. Oil record books is consumption of oil and if there are any emissions or pollutions. In your case, it's a simple logbook. So we have those logbooks which are completely digitized on the phone. So that can be used in two conditions. One condition is offline, one condition is online. So when you are offline, you still make your entry and it is saved in your system. I'm just trying to make you understand the process in a simple way. How do you do technically? That's our problem. And then what happens is when it is saved in your log, then obviously as soon as you come into the range, there it goes, it saves. So it is same. If you want to compare it, it's like your email. You send an email, it doesn't go, it goes into your outbox. It stays there till you get connectivity, and on its own, the outbox is done, clear. So the same fundamentals or the same theory is also utilized here. We have done it. So that's the reason I was very confident in answering your question.
Thanks, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Sanjay ji. And I think we have no more questions, but it was really intriguing to understand from you, Sanjay, the process of digitization. And Shailendra ji, I know that you are very gung-ho about this topic. Any last comments from your end, sir, that you would like to share?
Well, what I have heard from Sanjay ji, he has given a very beautiful presentation and the solutions to various problems. But still, my view is that when I have been working with Maruti Suzuki India Limited and then switched over my site to the component manufacturers, and during my this tenure, I have seen many auto component manufacturers that they are still using paper because they don't have that much of confidence even now in the digitization of the whole process. As what Deepak Sir has said very clearly that there are operators who are illiterate to that extent, but they are very good in terms of their manufacturing activities. Even there are people in heat treatment section where they can tell about the whole thing, but if you want them to know what reaction takes place and how it is there and what temperature it goes to, they will not be able to specify, but they will get the qualities like that. So for these people to go for digitization is, I'm using a very harsh word, is unthinkable at the moment because they have never been tuned to that. So the very first thing that mindset has to be changed because this
Right.
is one.
Absolutely.
You hit the nail.
It was mentioned that we have the population of baby bloomer and Gen X. So I'm a part of a baby bloomer generation. Uh, in my time, there was no computer. We were never trained about these things. We were having only card 84 bits, then punching took place. So the mindset has to change.
So beautifully captured. Thank you so much, Shailendra.
Unless we
Thank you so much. So with this, we bring today's session to a close.
are willing to change ourselves, the whole system will. So it's a real challenging thing, but once it is done, I'm very sure what you have shared, we can save a lot of things and no duplication of work, no error will take place. It will be taken care of in the initial stage itself.
And that's why we must explore digitization. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I invite our Executive Director, FMA, Tyagarajan sir, for giving the vote of thanks. And over to you, Tyagarajan ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to propose vote of thanks
on behalf of Faridabad Management Association. It was a great learning session. You made a very detailed presentation, Mr. Dewan, Sanjay Dewanji, and there was a great learning, and you handled the question answer sessions very well. But the main problem still remains: the people, they don't want to change, especially the aged and senior people. I had also been involved in digitalization. I implemented the ERP package, and the document was printed at the last stage, a receipt document. Whenever material has to be received, it was entered digitally and acceptance digitally. Then it went to the gate. When the material used to come, they used to ask for paper. There's no paper at all. And only when the material comes in and accepted, then only the printout takes place. It was 6 months period was very hell, really hell. People, there was no it was accepted with lots of difficulty. Initial process is very difficult. A mindset has to change. Everyone has to cooperate for that. Thanks for a wonderful session, and thanks audience for sparing your afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VT.
And
Thank you, everyone.
You also gave a lot of examples. Very
Thank
nice.
you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.